Subscribe for the very latest.
Play it, Daddy.
Man, so listen, man. Once again, we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And like I said, once again, I want to try to get deeper into like the culture of things of music. So I wanted to get into like some of the writers, because hip hop and R&B are blended together forever. Always, it ain't going nowhere. We it's almost like brother and sister now. Before it was like cousins. Now it's like brother and sister, because everybody's singing on their records, they doing all of this. So I want to shout out some writers, right? And one particular writer is a guy named Maurice Starr. Maurice Starr. Do I have Maurice Starr picture? I don't know. I think I do somewhere.
Do you got his album cover for Flaming Star?
Nah, that look kind of crazy. But hey, crazy part, the dude who designed that outfit he had on is the dude that was the choreographer for New Edition. That dude that what's the name played in the movie.
I can see it.
What's the dude that played in Wood Harris? Yeah, thank you. That character, and the same dude you see in because he's in the videos and all that too with New Edition. But yeah, he designed that outfit. But yeah, Maurice Starr. Here's Maurice Starr right here. See that perm? Woo, that thing is neat. I don't know. It's a fro / perm. I don't know, but that's
80s talking to me.
It's clean.
That's that fresh perm right there.
That's 80s talking to me.
It's
clean. To it.
It's clean, man. It's clean. Like I'm like, Maurice look at the suit. The suit is sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like killing them right now.
He got the whisper suit on.
Yeah, he's killing them right now, man. Shout
the whisper suit.
Shout out to Maurice Starr, man. He's killing them right now.
Definitely.
But I want to talk about this guy, man, because I think it's an interesting. I think Maurice Starr is an interesting guy, because he's not just a writer, but he's also a producer.
Yep.
And he's also a manager. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Larry Curtis Johnson is his real name. Maurice Starr. He called himself, that's a stage name, Maurice Starr. What do y'all know about Maurice Starr?
He was the big Quincy Jones of the ghetto. He was the guy to go see if you want to make a record in Boston.
He's the founder of New Edition.
New
Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block. Exactly. So he's the founder of New Kids on the Block, and he's the founder of New Edition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he was born in Florida, but he spent some time in most of his time he spent in Boston, Massachusetts, right? Maurice Starr is known as he's a very confident guy.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell by his album covers, as you can tell by the perm, he's a very confident guy, right? So y'all follow me real quick. I think that we can have a dialogue about this. So Maurice Starr put out 2 albums. The Flaming Star, right? Then we got the Spacey Lady, right? Yeah, y'all go look at that album cover. He looking crazy, right? But here's what's interesting. We can't name a Maurice Starr hit solo.
No.
We can't, because there's none. There ain't any. He ain't got no hits.
Not
solo. Not solo. But what I like about that is that he didn't give up. he went and found artists that he can write for. He's like, oh, y'all don't like the way I look? Y'all don't like the way I'm singing it? Because he could sing. He's a really good singer. I'm going to give it to some little kids because guess what? He was he was in the group with his brothers. They all wanted to be the Dr. Jackson 5. So he went and found somebody else that could be like the Jackson 5, which is New Edition.
That was dope.
Have y'all seen the New Edition movie?
Yes.
The New Edition movie?
Yep.
It's a great addition to the new Black movie.
Facts.
Origin
Yes,
story.
it is. It definitely is.
Facts. Remember the scene in New Edition when they wait for that bonus and they got that check?
Trash.
And that check was for $1.87.
Yep.
I mean, they parents like, oh, let's go.
They was
Get
heated.
paid. They been touring.
They was livid.
They got hits out
They
the
was livid.
$1.87 split between five.
$1.80
parents.
split between 5. That's messed up. Yeah, it was crazy.
Right?
That was definitely wild.
Welcome to the music business.
Yep.
Right. That right there.
That opened them up. That opened their eyes
That-
up for real.
That was crazy. Right? So here we are. Parents is like, yo. Now, mind you, they are signed to Maurice Starr. Right? And at the end of the day, they spent too much money. And according to what the record label was saying, they spent too much money, and that's what they recouped, and that's what this is what was left. This is what was left after all the spending. So they dumped Maurice, right?
Charge him. They sue him for embezzlement.
Right. Now here's the thing. So here are the songs that Maurice Starr has either written or produced for New Edition. You got Candy Girl. Is This the End?
Mama told me one day it was gonna happen, but she never told me when.
Jealous Girl. And ooh, I think the other one's Ooh Baby. He got a couple. He got some more. That's just to name a few of them, right? Now, follow me on this. So, like I said, they dumped Maurice Starr. We ain't gonna get into particulars of how that went down, but that they dumped him. Now, keep in mind that happened in 1980. This is New Edition's first album. That I'm sorry. That is this the end? Is still in my. Mama always told me it was go. I'm sorry. That joke was hard. So there was a hiatus between that time and when we hear from Maurice Starr again.
Yeah.
Probably about 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, he was how he tells it, he was devastated from what happened. And it affected him. So
now there's also some other songs. Before I finish my story, I wanna also talk about some other songs because he actually produced on Love Train.
Confunction.
Confunction, yeah. So he produced a lot in some joints for Confunction. Yeah. So that's another, that for now that's the only one I want to get into because I was like, oh, he produced for Confunction. Oh, that's dope. That's one of my favorite joints, right? So the next time we hear about Maurice Starr is New Kids on the Block.
This man is almost single-handedly responsible for pressure on parents to buy New Kids on the Block merchandise. He's their manager and creator, Maurice Starr.
Well, the parents don't mind, because every parent want to keep their kid happy.
Now, once again, also, well, let me say this. Maurice is a petty guy. And I'm going to tell you why. The group is called New Edition, his first group. You go get a group of white kids and name them New Kids on the Block.
Well, they originally had another name before that. They just changed it to New Kids on the Block because the record label.
But
the record label encouraged them.
Here's the thing, though. There's no way it's a coincidence that this group is called New Kids on the Block.
Hey, he did what Jermaine Dupri did earlier, because Jermaine Dupri had the same thing with Criss Cross, and when they fell out with he had that with ABC. When he fell out with ABC, he came back with him with Criss Cross. Same thing.
Hey, dog. my thing. He said, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna take these white kids from Boston, just the same area where you from. I'm gonna take these white kids from Boston. You New Edition? Cool. These New Kids on the Block. Come on, son. That's whether it was him on the record labels, it's petty.
That's kind of rampant in the music industry, man.
I'm just saying. Now, all right. So listen. So once again, yeah, no, right. So, all right. So follow me. So once again, New Edition. He did one album with them, right?
Yeah.
We done, right? So now he's moved on to New Kids on the Block. Now he's basically did all the songs from New Kids on the Block, from Step by Step to Hanging Tough to I mean he had a whole slew of hits with New Kids on the Block, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, first of all, if you don't know who New Kids on the Block, I'll tell you who New Kids on the Block is. You got Donnie Wahlberg, who's still acting.
Very much so.
We got Mark Wahlberg, who's still acting.
Which is his brother.
Right. You got Jonathan Knight. You got Jordan Knight, two brothers. You got Danny Wood, and you got Pause. And you got Joey McIntyre.
Well, question is did Mark join the New Kids too?
Mark is on vocals on New Kids on the Block.
Wow, didn't know that.
He's vocals on New Kids on the Block.
Funky
for
Mark,
my research.
Funky Mark joined the New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, he was in there, right? So Maurice described them as marginally talented, but he had a plan for them. He had a sound for them. I heard Maurice could hear a song one time and play the song verbatim because he played instruments.
Yeah,
he hit the song one time,
piano and guitar.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He hear the song one time. He's gonna play it verbatim, right?
Yeah.
So, but I just say that I mentioned that to say how talented he is, right? So, do any of y'all know how famous New Kids on the Block really was? I like Walt. Do you know how famous New Kids on the Block really was?
Like my sisters would be singing some of their songs, like. When I don't know, I never dove deep into it to keep it 100, but my sisters was like, yo, we used to mess with New Kids on the Block. So it was a big deal.
New Kids are the world's highest paid entertainers.
In Australia, thousands of fans crowded the streets screaming for New Kids on the Block. The New Kids played a concert in Sydney Tuesday night and yesterday were mobbed en route to Perth during their tour of Australia. Then some more adventurous New Kids fans followed them for a closer look. Other fans weren't so lucky.
I was this close from him and I couldn't get near. I was pressing so hard and it wouldn't press. And I missed out a photo of him.
It was.
They had lunch boxes.
Bruh. Listen. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. New Kids on the Block was huge.
Captain Planet took their song and made it his theme song. He did. That's New Kids on the Block. Theme song for Captain Planet is from the music from New Kids on the Block. That's it. That's how.
Let me tell you,
popular they were.
They had their own cartoon.
Today, right now? No way. Quit riffing, John. We got time before the show. Jordan's right. Joey Joe here hardly got a chance to see what high school was like.
Yeah, I remember that too.
They had their own cartoon. They had, merch.
It's the New Kids on the Block. Joseph, Jonathan, Jordan, Donnie, and Danny. Who's their number one fan?
I'm the number one fan. I've got all 5 concert kits with all 5 personal interview cassettes. I am. I've got all 5 concert kits with their cassettes and the New Kids stage, plus all 5 kids in their street clothes. I'm the number one fan. I've got all the kids, their stage, and the New Kids on the Block phone.
The New Kids on the Block. Who's their number one fan?
I am.
New Kids on the Block concert kits come with cassette, stage, hanging loose kids, and accessories sold separately.
I'm telling y'all, they were the new Jackson 5.
They had metal lunchboxes.
And they did have metal lunchboxes.
They had their own money.
Yeah. And that's a correction on my end about it was really Marky Mark, not Funky Mark. Marky Mark.
Sorry. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, yeah. Shout out to Marky Mark. Good vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad. So here's what it is. Maurice Starr takes them to the closest edge you can get to heaven. He right there. We passed the moon, stars. He's right there at heaven. Like, that's how big they were. They were huge. And Maurice Starr set up a company where he got, this is all alleged through my research, right? So the company was set up to where he got 20% of their earnings. Right? He got 50% of their merchandise. Right? No, let me see, not merchandise, but their licensing. That's the difference. All their licensing, everything, their likeness, he gave 50% of that. Right?
Pimp mode.
Exactly.
And he also, but now here's the thing: he taught them how to write. He taught them how to produce. Right? So, with that being said, just kind of bringing it full circle with New Edition and New Kids on the Block. Because, first of all, who's the bigger group?
New Kids on the Block is the bigger group, but we know why the New Kids on the Block is the bigger group. We should know why the New Kids on the Block is the bigger group. It's one of the main reasons why he said that if New Edition was a different shade of color, they would have gone farther. But we know why New Kids on the Block is the bigger group.
So do we think that y'all don't think that if Maurice stuck with New Edition stuck with New Kids on the Block, they could have been as big?
No, they wouldn't have. It's the same reason why how Eminem became big. It's the same story.
I can agree with that.
It's the same story. It's the same story. No, if you have an artist the same caliber, the same everything as Eminem as you do it, there's another artist that's just like similar to Eminem, but they're not selling like Eminem. Eminem is selling the way he is because of his hue.
What you think?
All right, so to be fair, everybody, I probably know some New Kids on the Block songs.
The right stuff.
Oh, that's the classic.
That's all I know.
That Step by Step?
No, if you listen to Captain Planet, you got another one right there.
Oh, okay. I got one possible. Cool.
So, and that's the thing. So that's really what I'm getting to. I know New Edition songs, like, I know them. As far as the music goes, and as far as New Edition, I only would say that New Edition was better. I just think New Edition was better. I know their songs more. I know their music more. I know New Edition. New Kids on the Block, I know there's songs that I've heard, and that's because of how big they are. You feel me? I probably, like y'all said, they were the bigger group. But to me personally, I just know New Edition more. So I tend to go with New Edition.
Okay.
Stick with that, Walt. Stick with it, Walt, because we know we still support our people. Stick with it. I feel you. But go ahead,
what you think? What you think? Do you really think that New Edition? Well, it said could New Edition be big as the New Kids on the Block if they would have stuck with Maurice Starr?
Probably not.
Do you think that the New Edition reached their full potential?
With Maurice Starr?
No, just period as a group right now.
They reached their full potential?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay. Now, I personally think in that phase of when they were as kids, I think if they would have stuck with Maurice Starr, they would have been better, in a better position. They would have made a little bit more money. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Maurice Starr had a plan. This stuff with the merchandise and the licensing, and I think y'all was saying how y'all saying that they were being raped. I don't think the new Kids on the Block was being raped. They got 50% of an idea that Maurice Starr had. They got now the 20% of the earnings. That's Maurice Starr's vision. How much more are they supposed to get? If Maurice Starr created it, if he groomed them, if he took a group that's marginally talented and made them into megastars, how much money is he supposed to get? 20%? That's a gift.
I mean, he probably could have taken them as kids a little bit farther than where they have gone. If, like, granted, he would have taken them a little bit farther than where they got prior to them leaving, but they wouldn't have gotten to New Kids on the Block status. The only way they would have done that, though. The only way they would have said that, the only way they would have done that is if they would have done what Motown did back in the day and not put their faces on the covers.
But nah, I feel like they would at least got the Jackson 5 status.
They probably now they would have story.
But what I'm saying is that
yes, I think they probably would have. They would if they stuck with the original creator of the idea, Maurice Starr. Yes, I think that he could have gotten them to Jackson 5 status. I do believe.
Because my thing is Maurice had he even though, all right, so I feel like in music business, when you get there, when you're in the door, you're already in a better position than you were when you were on the street.
I agree. Yeah.
So once again, going back to the story, I said Maurice Starr, yes, he took 50% of their licensing, right? Yes, he took 20% of their earnings, but they learned how to write and produce.
Yeah.
So now when they leave Maurice Starr, they can go and write and produce their own songs.
And that would have they would have been, if they would have stuck with him longer, he could have developed and molded them a little bit further. And yeah, I think they would have learned the same talents that New Edition, New Kids on the Block did. So yeah, I think that would have helped, because granted, Maurice Starr was the genius for it, but
now keep in mind, New Edition did produce a song off the first album. They did. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say, like, I know it didn't look right getting that $1.87.
Not at all.
I don't know what I would have did as a parent, right? But what I'm saying is that what's better, the money or the knowledge?
I think the knowledge is better, because if it's like going back to the man, like you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat forever.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm Brandon. What y'all think?
If you put it depends. Like, you put the knowledge in the right hands. Because I'm thinking about New Edition and what happens with them afterwards. Like,
yeah,
they all go. You know how they grow up and they go their separate ways. You got Bobby Brown, you got Bell Biv DeVoe, and you got they had the reunion tour and all that when they did that, and then you had Ralph Tresvant as he goes off and does his own thing. But I'm saying, as they all go off doing their own thing, I feel like their experiences after, like, Maurice Starr got them started and definitely groomed them and taught them and everything, and then you see them getting older. I feel like Bobby Brown was the kind of dude who was going to be him regardless.
Yeah.
If you keep them together growing up, I don't know if you get that same result of them splitting up and them doing their own thing.
I think they eventually, we're going to play the what if game. I think that they stick with Maurice and they eventually leave Maurice. Just like New Kids on the Block did. Why? Because they're growing up, they got families, they trying to get more money, they trying to eat, right? Either way, they stuck together though.
Yeah.
New Edition, whether they were separate, they still stuck together, right? So they still stayed together separately as a group, because they came back together. Even though they beefed, they still came back to do albums together. Probably minus Bobby, on certain parts, but still, I think that, because the question is how much money. Only thing that Bobby's getting off these songs is that he's touring, right? L.A. Reid and Babyface and Teddy Riley, they recoup all the money from these songs.
Yeah.
So if Bobby, just using Bobby's example, if he would have stayed with Maurice could have taught him the game, like, yo, you can produce a song just by telling them, oh, yo, move this, yo, I want this to sound like this. He got a production credit.
True. He could.
You understand what I'm saying? Man. He could be eating off these tenderonis and all these other songs, but because he was just letting the producer be the producer.
But Clint, technically he is eating off the tenderonis and all of this.
But yo,
I was trying to leave that right where it was.
But you seen what Michael Bivins did.
Very true.
So you seen how and I'm saying that's credit to who he is. That's the same thing I say about Bobby. That's who Bobby was. Bobby was all about, I'm trying to live life. I'm trying to do this thing. I'm trying to be Bobby Brown.
Look at Ralph. All of them aside, I feel like Ralph, if anybody in this group deserves to eat off these early records and all these other New Edition records, Ralph should be making money.
Because he's a stone cold gentleman, dude.
Dog. It's crazy how he did all these songs, I mean, as sensitive as he is, he should be making more money, dog.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Need a man with sensitivity. You just need a man with sensitivity.
He should. But I don't know. A part of me feels like if they should have stuck, they should have made it so that way they could have stuck out just a little bit more. It is petty and as hard to work. I mean, he's probably hard to work with Maurice Starr, and
probably
right,
is.
And they right, and it's probably they probably was expecting a lot of money, but I mean, I think they would have benefited more because I see what he did with New Edition. I mean, with New Kids on the Block, and though, hey, you're right, they are the right persuasion, right, to get that bread.
Yeah, that's what I think. It was probably that much easier to make it because he said marginal talent, right? So I'm saying they wasn't even as nice as New Edition.
But they no, they're on the same level. Let's keep no. Hold.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Wow, are you saying that they're on the same level now?